What is up everyone, and welcome back to another video. So as you probably know, having good aim in Fortnite is absolutely critical. You can have all the piece control in the world and have the best builds and edits and everything like that, but if you can't hit your shots to end that fight, you're not going to be able to win fights. Even with aim being so important, a lot of people still struggle with it, which is why in today's video, I'm going to be showing you guys exactly how you can improve your aim super fast in Fortnite Chapter 4 Season 3. I'll be going through all the best practice methods as well as some general tips you guys can use to get insane aim super fast. Before we get into it, if you find this video helpful, then be sure to drop a like on it. Subscribe if you're new to the channel and you want to see more. And lastly, if you want to show some extra support, it would really mean a lot to me if you could use code TECHO in the item shop. It takes a few seconds to type in and it seriously does help me out a bunch. As always, a huge thank you to everyone who uses it. You guys are awesome. But with all that said, guys, and without further ado, let's get into today's video. So in this video, we're going to spend the first portion talking about the best practice methods for all platforms. Specifically, I'll be talking mostly about creative maps. And once we've gone over all those practice methods, towards the end, I'm actually going to give you guys some extra information about how to plan out your routine, how often to practice, and just stuff like that. But with that in mind, we're going to go ahead and get into the practice methods. So getting into the practice methods for this video, and I'm going to have 3 different creative maps for you guys. All 3 of these in conjunction with one another should be absolutely insane for improving your aim. And getting into our first one of these maps, and this is going to be Raider464's aim training map. In terms of aim maps in Fortnite, this is probably going to be my favorite one right now. I just personally love this map and I find that it has so much to offer. This map has 20 plus scenarios ranging from ARs to shotguns, SMGs, and much more. Simply shoot a scenario, if applicable, choose your settings, and you'll be put right in. One of my favorite aspects of this map is the fact that it has aim duels. Historically, aim duels have required you to actually go up against another player directly, so you'd have to either hop into matchmaking or log in with a friend. But this map actually has AI that moves similarly to real players, which you can actually practice your aim on instead of requiring someone else to join you. And as you probably know, the matchmaking system has some issues, and obviously you may not always have someone online, so this is a huge benefit. And of course, you've also got a huge variety of tracking scenarios, target switching, shotguns, and basically anything you can think of. And as I said, a huge plus is that it's all single player, so you don't need to bother with matchmaking or finding someone to go against. Overall though, there's tons of scenarios in this map. You can see some of them on screen, and it's definitely going to be one of the most well-rounded aim trainers in all of Fortnite. It's only been out for a year or two, but it's one of the most popular aim trainers for a reason. So with that said, I'll put the code up on screen to Raider's aim training map right now. Getting into our second map for this video though, and this one is going to be Panville's headshot only box fight map. Now if you've never heard of this, it might sound a little bit weird that this box fight map is actually used as an aim training map, but headshot only box fights are actually one of the best ways to improve your shotgun aim, crosshair placement, and cursor control all in one map. As the name implies, this map is basically a big box fight between a ton of players, except in order to get a kill, you have to hit a clean headshot. That means that you have to play it out like a regular fight, but when it comes to going for the shot, you're actually going to need to take an extra moment to line it up and take that shot, which is a super helpful habit in real box fights. A lot of people have a tendency to kind of rush into their shotgun shots and they hit for less damage as a result. So this does have a massive impact on that, as well as your overall aim, because obviously if you're pointing at something and you're hitting it right in the head, that's going to help you improve your shotgun aim dramatically. Not only that, but if you can get into a good lobby, this map is actually pretty fun. Sometimes it gets really boring to sit in an aim training map for a while, but this map has the benefit of actually involving other areas of your fighting, so you can actually get some box fight practice and have a little bit of fun while you're aim training, and I find that to be really important, especially because, let's be honest, aim training can be kind of boring. But with that said, this map is absolutely fantastic, so I'll put the code up on screen right now. Getting into our third map for this video though, and our last creative map, and this one is going to be the Skavik aim trainer. The Skavik aim trainer has been around for many years at this point. I think it's been around since Chapter 1 Season 7 if I'm not mistaken, and throughout that entire time it's been one of the most popular aim training maps, and for good reason. Just like Raider's aim training map, the Skavik map has a huge variety of scenarios with all sorts of weapons, and fundamentally they're fairly similar except just with different scenarios. Along with your regular aim training scenarios, the Skavik aim trainer also has other scenarios like peek practice, side jumps, and other stuff like that that actually help you apply your aim into real environments, and that's definitely something I find a lot of people struggle with, and it's a very helpful tool to have in an aim training map. And of course, the map has a ton of fantastic scenarios. I really don't have enough time in this video to cover all of them, but you can see a lot of those scenarios up on screen. So with that said, the Skavik aim trainer is another great one to add into your arsenal, and it should help you out a bunch. And with that in mind, I'll put the code up on screen right now. Now getting into our next section for this video, and this one is going to be an aim training method, but it's actually not going to be a creative map. Instead, I want to take a minute to talk about external aim trainers. I know a lot of you guys use these external aim trainers, so I wanted to take a minute to talk about them. These aim trainers are apps like Kovacs, AimBeast, AimLabs, etc. And they're basically aim trainers outside of Fortnite, which PC players can use. I really do like some of these, but I mainly recommend in-game aim trainers for the convenience and because they're free. It also helps that you don't have to go and open another program since it's literally just right in the game. But with that said, the fundamentals of an external aim trainer routine are just going to be like the in-game ones. You want to have a variety of scenario types. You want to have your tracking, you want to have your click timing / shotgun stuff, you want to have your target switching scenarios, and of course you want to use the same sensitivity you use in game, and you'll want to mix up the ranges, precision, and other factors like that. External aim trainers are very useful, and I do think they're a good investment if you plan to use them long term, but they're just not something that I cover in this exact video because I want this video to apply to everyone, but I definitely don't want to leave them out and not mention them. So with that said, if you prefer these external aim trainers, I do have a lot of videos such as the best Kovacs scenarios and even a sponsored video with AimBeast. Both of those apps are great, so feel free to check out those videos if you want more information about the external aim trainers and the best routines to use with them. And overall, guys, that's going to wrap it up for our 4 different practice methods for your aim. Now, overall, you may use 1 or 2 out of these 4, you may use 3 of them, you may use all of them, but overall, try to mix things up and try to get a good variety in your aim practice. I do find all these methods to be really helpful, whether it's Raiders aim training map, Panvil's headshot only, Skavic aim trainer, or even external aim trainers outside of Fortnite. So with that in mind, now that we have a lot of good practice methods in mind, I'm going to go ahead and talk about your aim routine. Now for this section, I'm basically just telling you guys some general tips that I wish I would have known back in the day. This is stuff that's going to help you improve your aim faster and structure a really good routine. Now the first aspect of this is going to be timing. Now I recommend you base your timing on a couple of different factors. Primarily, these factors are going to be the amount of time you have to play and your experience with aim training. As you'd expect, the more time you actually have to play the game, the more you can aim train, and the more experienced you are, the more it's actually going to take to continue improving, so the more time you may want to put in as a result. Now this is a very general range, but I recommend anywhere between 15 minutes to about an hour of aim training. Anything less than 15 minutes and you might not get much result out of it, but anything more than an hour and you're probably overdoing it. The amount of time you spend is just going to depend on those factors, and you want to figure out what works best for you. I know some beginners that like to absolutely grind their aim training and they spend like an hour doing it a day, and I know some really good players who spend 15 minutes doing it at the start of their warm-up and that's it. So it's going to depend on preference, but hopefully that helps you guys out regardless. Another factor a lot of people struggle with is actually knowing when to aim train. Now personally, I'm going to recommend aim training at the start of your warm-up. Aim training honestly isn't going to be the most exciting part of your routine. Let's be honest, it's kind of boring, but it's also very rewarding and it could serve as a great warm-up, so I recommend you get it out of the way first before you hop into any games, because honestly, I can't imagine that a lot of you guys are going to be grinding out some ranked or something like that and just decide in the middle of your session that you want to go aim train. Unless you're missing your shots constantly or something like that, your mind's probably not going to be on aim training, so you want to just get it out of the way. That way you can go and do the fun stuff. Now, the last topic I want to talk about when it comes to your aim routine is going to be your structure. You can structure your aim routine however you'd like. Some people prefer to use one aim trainer while others like to switch through maps. Personally, I tend to lean on the side of thinking variety is better, so you may want to run 2 or 3 maps, or if you run an external aim trainer, at least run a lot of different scenarios in it. But honestly, as long as you have the time, you can get away with doing as many maps as you want. However you decide to approach it, just try to make sure you have good variety in your routine and try to mix it up once in a while to give yourself something new to adapt to. A lot of people kind of get caught in this cycle where they just do the same exact thing over and over again, and it works great for a while, but after a while they just stop improving because of it. So definitely try to mix things up once in a while, whether it's doing a different scenario, making something harder, or anything like that. Another option is actually to raise and lower your sensitivity. So you can actually raise your sensitivity when you're aim training to work on those precise movements, or you can work on slow sensitivity to work on getting those big flick shots. In a lot of these aim trainers, you can actually change the distance and whatnot, and overall you just want to mix things up. So hopefully that helps you guys out. But with all that said, guys, that's going to wrap it up for today's video on how to improve your aim dramatically in Fortnite Chapter 4 Season 3. Overall, by using the maps and tips that I've covered in this video, you should find yourself improving dramatically when it comes to aim. If you found this video helpful, then it would mean a lot if you could drop a like on it. Consider subscribing as well if you're new to the channel and you want to see more tips and tricks content just like this in the future. I post an absolute ton of tips and tricks videos, so make sure you don't miss out. And lastly, guys, if you want to show some extra support, it's always appreciated if you could use code TECHO in the item shop. It's 100% free for you. It takes like 5 seconds to type in, and it seriously does help me out a bunch. So as always, a huge thank you to everyone who uses it. But with all that said, guys, thank you all for watching this video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye for now.